Hey there, we are in North Carolina today, and Ann has taken me to Lake Chatuge. Am I saying that right?
You are.
And what will we find here? What might we find here?
We might find at this particular cove, we will definitely find little garnets, maybe some corundum, that's rubies and sapphires, and possibly some rutile.
All right, you'll have to tell me what those things look like when we find them.
Okay.
On the way here, it was in the teens, and it's up to 30 now at about 10:30 in the morning. But just in case you think that I'm in warm North Carolina, there's ice all along the edge of the lake here. I can't help do this. The sand here is all kind of sparkly. It's all mica in the sand. It's really pretty. You found a couple, huh?
Yeah. Not very impressive. They're tiny and they're water worn, but it does have a little bit of that metallic sheen. So I think it's rutile. Wouldn't swear to it without good crystal faces.
I'm supposed to be looking for rutile, but I keep finding these weirdly shaped rocks. They seem to have some mica in them because they're sparkly, but they're really flat. There's a bunch of them along here. I find them kind of interesting. There's a big one over here. Kind of fun shapes anyhow. The bedrock's right up here. Must be where the stuff's coming from. But it's soft. You can break it in places. It's sort of crumbly. Well, I've heard of Southern hospitality, but this is something you don't see on the beaches in Michigan. Full cans of beer. Just sitting here for me. Too bad it's not a hot summer day. Day is just beautiful. No wind, blue skies, a little chilly, but otherwise beautiful. What you got?
It's another little water-worn one, but here's one that has a pretty nice crystal face that gives a good flash.
And Ann was telling me that it's heavy, it's really dense, and she let me hold one, and you really can tell, even with a little tiny one, that it's pretty darn dense. Well, those are bigger.
Yeah.
Got another?
Yeah, this is the one you found, and it's got some nice flash on that face. And then this is the one I found, and it's got a pretty nice flash.
Yeah. Yep. I just have to find a huge one.
Yeah.
At least I found one.
Here's another one. 4 more and we'll have a 6-pack.
Completely full. So is this something the government does, or are these just good Samaritans that leave the beer out in case you get parched?
Southern hospitality, I think you said it right.
We walked the other direction down the beach a little bit, and we're into the Garnets now. Found some larger ones, not real big, but bigger than here, but all these little round things are garnets. Here's one right here that's a little bit bigger. Oh, one's pointing at a bigger one behind me here. Yeah. So they don't look like much now, but hopefully when I get home I'm going to try to tumble these. And if I do, you'll see them in the video right here. But a lot of these little round things are garnets. I think that's one. It's a little bit bigger. Here's one. Kind of broken in half. Oh, there's a bigger one right there. I was a ways down the beach there, and Ann just came and got me. And what'd you find, Ann?
Look down.
There's a little bit bigger ones All those little round guys there are garnets. Just kind of everywhere. Go back this way, there was more also. So all the little round things are garnets. So I'm going to fill up my little baggie here. And I think that's enough for a lotto load. It's kind of like picking blueberries. They're about the same size and take about as long to fill up your bag. And then what did you find, Ann?
So these garnets still have their crystal faces on them. You can see it comes up.
Yeah.
And that little one has some crystal faces, probably harder to see.
I can see them.
And then two nice rutiles. This one's got pretty good flash.
Yeah, there we got it.
And then so does this one have pretty good flash on some crystal faces.
Well, this has just been a fun beach, as you said it would be. We didn't drive 2 hours here for nothing.
Not for nothing.
Well, from your house, a lot farther for me. All right, so it's off to the next beach on the same lake.
Yes. Yep. We're going to be just the other side of that point, or that spit of land right there. We're going to be right around the other side of that.
All right, well, let's go. I'm not sure how well these garnets will tumble, but I'm going to put them in the lotto and see what happens. I've got enough to fill the barrel up, so here goes. Got the garnets all tumbled, and that has to be one of the most disappointing batches of rocks I've ever done in my life. I took before and after pictures so you can see how much they improved. Isn't that impressive? These were the messiest things I've ever tumbled. In the 220 stage, they just came out a muddy mess. I did 2 different stages in 220 because they all stuck to the bottom in a big blob. But I talked to Ann, and she said she had better luck than I did, but she said they weren't too impressive. And I did some research on the internet, and I haven't found anybody who's raved about tumbling these. Most people just say they're pretty much impossible to tumble. So almandine garnets are a no-go for me in the future. We were walking back towards the Jeep, and I saw some green in the woods. I had to come over here and look at it. There's a holly tree right here. There's actually several of them around. There's one right there. That's something we don't see in Michigan. We're at a second location on the beach, and there's frost on the beach. And I just stepped here and didn't realize it, but that's all frost. So you step and you kind of sink down several inches. That's fun. I wish I had a camera that could capture the big mountains back there. They look tiny in the viewfinder here, but it's just gorgeous over there. And what are we looking for on this beach?
We are looking for limonite pseudomorphs of pyrite. So there were pyrite crystals here that had dissolved away and were replaced by limonite. So squares is not the normal limonite habit, but it's a pseudomorph. It's fake morphology. And this is just an ugly, broken up piece, but that is what we're after.
A little bit of a cube shape there, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is what we're after, but just a lot prettier.
All right. There's a lot of this stuff around.
It's a chlorite schist. We find a lot of the schist layers at the edge of where a pegmatite layer starts.
All right. With the green, chlorite makes sense, I guess. This is quartz, which Ann was told that some of this is rutile in here. But it's not clear quartz, so it's not like the really cool rutilated quartz you see sometimes. Just this one little area, there's all this quartz. We haven't seen any of this until just here. Ann just found this, and she found a smaller piece, but this is the limonite after pyrite pseudomorph we're looking for. Doesn't really have the great shape, but that's really heavy. That's impressively heavy. It looks the best up on the top there as far as seeing the rocks. It's not all dirty. Find any more?
Yeah.
Nope, still finding it. Just got to find a purdy one.
Nope, no pretty ones. And woohoo!
No woohoos yet?
Neither are very pretty.
Well, at least we're finding it.
Mm-hmm.
That's encouraging. We got a breeze coming up and the sun went away. It's feeling much colder. So we're continuing to find ugly pieces of limonite. I just found this one. I think this is only my second one. Ann's found quite a few. All we're doing is looking for black. We found this one little spot in the beach where we picked up all this right within maybe a couple square feet. So it's all the limonite. This one right here is really heavy, but none of it has that cube shape. I did find one down the beach a little ways. This one was from down the beach, just not too far. It's kind of like a distorted cube. But all that was just right in here. And then Ann's over there finding it kind of down towards the water.
It's right here too.
But none of the cube shaped stuff that we were looking for. Yeah, you can see this one right here. It's kind of all over the place.
Yep.
But not the fun shapes, unfortunately. We're walking back toward the car, and Ann just found this one that's not quite a cube, but probably the closest thing we've found. Here's an example of one of the really nice cube-shaped limonites Ann's found in this beach before. We didn't find any today, but that's okay. It was still a really nice day on the beach. So Ann, I always try to direct somebody to another video at the end of this video. So if you have any video that stands out, or maybe the first video you saw, or...
So the first video that had me messaging you on Rock Tumbling Hobby was the video where you were just pitching Petoskey's back into the lake because you thought they weren't good enough.
Well, I do that all the time. It's probably the first video I did on a beach before I was just doing it for the Rock Tumbling Hobby people.
Yeah, I think you posted it on the forum.
Well, that video got me in a lot of trouble because I was tossing them into the lake and people thought that they were never coming back, and I had a lot of very, very angry people commenting on that video. But okay, I'll link that one here if you want to see my first beach video and me being a bad boy and throwing them back into the lake. You can click here and check that out, and I'll see you over there.